Alright lads, so coming straight off of our 5-hour live stream, version 15.4 is officially here, and we're going to be going over everything that was added in this update, and also talk about the upcoming campaigns, and also some data mine banners, in this case a rerun of Toshiro, and also 8th Anniversary Y in his unique Brave Fest banner. Want to know more about those banners? We'll stick around to the end. So version 15.4 starts off with new bonus abilities. As stated here, bonus abilities to boost character stats have been added. The boost directly affects a character's stats, so setting them in the character link slot will further increase the boost received through inheritance, making the base character even more powerful. And taking a look at the stat increase that we can get now through bonus abilities, they're right at the start. You can get 400 extra stamina, 200 extra attack, 120 defense, 400 focus, and 200 SP. Now this does again directly affect the character's base stats, so when you do use the character as a link, you're inheriting overall 30% of their stats. So in this case, by giving a character 200 SP, 200 attack for example, which we did do in this case on our one of the best links in the entire game at Chad, the overall stat increase that we are getting from Chad in particular with these new bonus abilities is 60 attack and 60 SP, which honestly isn't even that much. But remember, you do have access to free character links, so if you give all three character links like this, for example, 200 attack, 200 SP, overall the new stat you are getting from these bonus abilities on your main character is 180 SP, 180 attack. And that's essentially it. Now, to some people, that might not be a lot. And realistically, it's not that much. This isn't going to make your character hit significantly harder, but it's an extra way to make your character tap it better with new found extra stats. If you only ever use a character as a link, and you use that link all the time, you might as well do it. In this case, again, I got all my Chads to level 10 SP, level 10 attack. I gave them 200 attack and SP as bonus abilities, and now Chad's offering me extra stats. Honestly, I really can't complain about that. However, it's worth mentioning that this stat increase can also be used on your main character. And in this case, it's potentially something you might want to do, because 200 extra attack or 200 SP, using Aizen as an example actually, 200 extra attack isn't just 200 more attack. That goes to your base stat increase, and any accessory that you put onto this character is also including that extra 200 attack. So using Aizen as an example, with the 3 links that we gave him, they all have 200 attack, 200 SP, more so looking at the attack stat here though. With the 200 attack that we gave to Aizen as a bonus ability, and the accessories that we are using here, Aizen's getting around 700 additional attack. So this might be something you actually want to do. And that's one of the main reasons for this new bonus ability system with the stat increase, is more so to help you in the very hard guild quests. Because what we do know in guild quests, more so the hard difficulty and the very hard difficulty, is that the enemies have a defense stat. And for you to do damage with your normal attacks, you need to have more attack than their defense stat. And in the very hard difficulty in particular, every boss has 4,500 defense. And this is going to be an extra way for you to make your Nat characters in particular have even more stats so they can do damage against the bosses that have really high defense. So this is definitely something worth considering depending on the character you are using here, and it might even be meta in certain cases. In fact, I think there's some characters out there that can even benefit from extra SP. The characters are definitely far few in between, but using Ikaku as an example, one of our more recent characters. Since he does more damage to enemies not afflicted with an ailment, he himself can't inflict status ailments. What do you give him as bonus abilities? Well, the first one, of course, is going to be full stamina damage. The second one, you could give him long stride, but he already has it. You could give him an extra flash step, you could give him weakened defense, or you can give him 200 SP, and now you're doing even more damage. And in that case, I would like to say that the 200 extra SP would be more beneficial than weakened defense that you use against one boss, or an extra flash step where it doesn't make that much of a difference in the clear time. And I also want to throw in this too, is that you can give your character 400 focus, and that overall takes your focus stat to around 700 if you're using on a somewhat newer character. Now remember, you can't inherit focus. So the only way to get guaranteed criticals, which is what happens when you do go above 1000 focus, is to get a duplicate of said character. Well now, since you can give the character 400 extra focus, with the accessories you can get, you can now essentially get your character to above 1000 focus, therefore getting guaranteed criticals. So overall, this stat increase is definitely something worth considering. We might have another video going up later next week, depending on someone does the math right. We're still kind of in this like transitionary phase right now. Is it worth it? We're still trying to figure that out. As of right now though, I will say that it's definitely something you should consider doing. I think the main winners with this new stat increase is one, just overall making your already good links even better. 2, certain characters with long stride and don't inflict stat augments like Ichigo and Ikaku, for example, extra stats for them because there's no other good bonus ability you can give them. And then 3, most importantly, your NAD characters, normal attack damage characters that you want to use in Guild Quest to get above 4,500 attack. It might be something you want to do so you can have an easy time beating the quest, since now your NAD characters can do damage. And I guess for those that were wondering, the stats that you do gain from the bonus abilities does not affect your overall battle power. After that, we now have a new item called a bonus ability adjustment thread. As stated here, the bonus ability adjustment thread has been added. This is a new item that allows you to change or remove bonus abilities without having to use any character power-up materials. To use this item, you go to your character screen, change or remove a bonus ability, and now you get the option to use either 1, your power-up materials, links or potions, super links or potions, droplets, or a bonus ability adjustment thread. It's a nice item to have. As of right now, everyone was given 1 for free in the gift box for logging into the game. And as stated in the news section, they plan to make this item available in events, so point events, and also epic raid orders. It's a bit on the rare side as of right now. You can't even get it besides the one that you were given for free. Would have been nice, Caleb, if we got a tad bit more than just 1. You really can't do much with this, right? Use it once, it's done. But for those that are wondering how to obtain these items in the future, potentially in the next point event and also next epic raids, you'll get it from event orders, epic raid orders, and just from the point event, right? It's a somewhat rare item right now, but I will say going forward into the future, it will start to become a tad bit more common, as we've seen that with every new item ever introduced into the game. But overall, it's a new item that you can use in replacement for links or potions, super links or potions, and droplets when changing or removing a bonus ability. After that, we have a new co-op quest, in this case, Path to Friendship. It's a very similar quest to the single player quest that we have in the game right now, which is called Path to Power. Essentially, it's the same thing, but now you do it in co-op. This is something that you're not supposed to farm. You're supposed to go in, do it once a day, and bring any character you want. And they really mean that. While it's true you do get links or potions, droplets, and super links or potions from this quest, you cannot increase the drops by using links or characters, droplets, or super links or characters. So keep that in mind. Don't be like this person asking for droplet increase characters. It doesn't increase the rate, and if you read the news, it says it quite clearly, actually, that any increased characters don't increase the amount of jobs that you do get. But you might be wondering, what are the jobs actually looking like? Well, this is what you're pretty much guaranteed to get in any given run. 50 jobs of each type, 20 links or potions of each type, and also 30 super links or potions in a random attribute. You can do this quest 5 times per day, so you can do 1 quick 5 times soul ticket run. If you have the Cons Bonanza Pass, you get an additional 6 run, and you can keep playing the quest after that, but you won't be getting any more power-up materials. Instead, you're essentially getting friend points, because that's one thing this quest does give too. Any player that you play with gives you 10 additional friend points, but if you play with a friend, you're getting 20 friend points. Nothing too crazy, to be fair, but it's just something extra, I guess. This is most of something that you want to do daily. I would recommend most accounts do it daily. I'm doing it daily, and this is what my potions, droplets, and super links of potions are looking like. The drops might not seem like a lot, but the fact that you can do 5 times soul tickets, the value I guess you're getting from 1 soul ticket, it adds up over time, and it's a casual way to build up some extra drops to power up your characters, especially for new players, and that's kind of what this quest was designed for. In fact, if you have the beginner's mark, you can actually do this quest 15 times per day and still get power-up materials, which I think is pretty cool that they're doing that for beginners. So the main thing to take away from this new quest is something just to do extra daily, right? When you log into the game, you want to do your Path of Power, your 5 times run. In that quest, you can bring links or characters, droplets, and farmers. And once you're done with that, you then head over to co-op and do your 5 runs there, which again you can do in 1 5 times soul ticket run. Less than potentially 3 minutes time, and you're overall stacking up some extra resources every single day. The next edition, or more so re-edition, Test Play. It's back, ladies and gentlemen, finally. For those that didn't know, you used to be able to test play your characters. It's been a staple in Brave Souls since basically before the first anniversary. Around April time early this year, they did unfortunately remove it, to quite a bit of backlash, to be fair. It was a very stupid decision to remove the test play, but they finally added it back, and it's a tad bit different this time. Previously, it was a 1-room quest with multiple waves of enemies where you could potentially or maybe not finish the quest. We had a series on the channel to see if they could beat the quest. This time around, they've taken a different approach, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's more appropriate, actually, where you go through potentially upwards to 4 rooms, I think, and it essentially plays like a more traditional quest. So unfortunately for the YouTube side of things, I can't really make a series on the test play anymore, whether they can beat it or not. Before, you know, that was a thing, right? There was multiple waves. Some characters can beat it, some couldn't. It mainly highlighted those that could nuke through the quest in like 3 seconds time. Never really meant much, to be fair. But this, again, serves as a more traditional quest. Go for a few rooms, use your character's strong attacks, and you get a decent feel of the character before you decide to summon. And I think a lot of players are going to be happy that it is back, because again, this was a heavily requested feature ever since they did remove it back in April. And for those that are unaware, to access the test play, all you gotta do is go to the summon screen, go to the character you want to test play, and the button will be at the top right. After that, we have the purchase soul ticket button. This is something that was in the game years ago, and hadn't really been heavily requested, but I am so grateful it's finally back into the game, because I'll tell you what, lads, there have been multiple times over the last 2 years where I go into a co-op lobby, I'm ready to go, and I realize I don't have 5 soul tickets. I check my gift box, there's no soul tickets, and I'm kind of either in a situation where I just stick it out and do the one-times run, or I have to leave and buy soul tickets. And that was like the annoying part. You couldn't just buy soul tickets from the actual screen. Now you can. Whenever you wanted to buy soul tickets, then I understand not everyone does do, but I do on both of my accounts, my pay-to-play and free-to-play account, and the only way to buy soul tickets was to go through the entire shop screen, which was like very tedious to do. Now, if I'm ever in a situation where I'm in a co-op lobby or I'm farming the point event, I want to buy some soul tickets, I have no soul tickets in my gift box, I can buy the soul tickets right from that screen, which I think is really cool and is kind of an underrated upgrade with this new update, I will say. After that, there is now a new issue category in the notices. Nothing too crazy, but if you do want to have a look at it, you can see all the issues currently on in the game. There's quite a few issues, to be fair, but this is more so just a way for you to know if Caleb have acknowledged a bug or an issue in the game. And the fact that they have outlined all the issues, it means they are aware of it, and hopefully they do get around to fixing all these, because yeah, it's quite a hefty list, I will say. A few other miscellaneous things. Twitter has now been renamed to X within the game. When you do the 25th step on any given banner, there is now a new notification informing you of the choose a new 5-star character summon ticket. I don't have any footage for this because I haven't gone to step 25 yet. I guess it's kind of cool. It's a bit anticlimactic when you do step 25. It's a golden light and then there's nothing there. Maybe some people did do 25 steps and didn't even realize they had a ticket sitting in their gift box. I don't know. It's a nice little addition for those that are willing to go to step 25 on any given banner. There is now a new visual effect displayed when you do earn your badge for the first time in a certain limit breaker quest. This is what it looks like. In this case, I got a rainbow one. And then they essentially fixed some issues. And one interesting issue that they did fix, which is kind of funny, is Poise Break doesn't work in Brave battles, but sometimes it activated during Brave battles. That is a weird bug that I didn't see anyone talk about, and I'm kind of saddened that I never got to experience that, because that would have been a pretty fun video if Ichigo was able to use his vortex and keep every character stuck in that vortex. That would have been kind of weird, but also fun. A little cheese. Unfortunately, we couldn't demonstrate that. Moving on to the campaigns announced this morning, there's the Braves Souls campaign round 2. Round 1 was kind of lackluster. In this case, round 2 looks to be a lot more promising, because starting tomorrow for the next week, we have 2 times Link's up potions in Inheritance Zone and 2 times Droplets in Enriched Droplet Zone. I would have wished they lasted a tad bit longer, maybe 2 weeks, but in this case, if you're in need of Droplets or Link's up potions, I know I am, that's where you want to be the next week starting tomorrow. And of course, as always, on the 16th, Fragments are doubled in Chrono Quest, so that's when you should do your Chronicle Quest farming. Moving on to the rerun banners. In this case, Toshiro, Sajin, and also Kaname are coming back. This was expected. We have no official date on when it's coming back or who is going to be in the fillers. We don't know that. All we know is that it's coming back. Good chance it does come out within the week. What we have been seeing is that Caleb are returning characters when they're relevant in Guild Quest or Limit Breaker. And in this case, Toshiro is right now really good in Guild Quest, and he's also going to be good in the second phase later this week, actually tomorrow to be fair, in the immediate Cyber Guild Quest. So he might return within this period. If not, he'll be out within the next week or 2. Additionally, White Brave Fest is also happening. This was something that was expected. It's either White or Ichigo getting a Brave Fest this month. In this case, it's White. Brave Fest, for those that don't know, it's a 0.7% chance to get White, and you're guaranteed him on step 20. This is what the banner does look like. It's over a pretty solid banner. That's officially coming out on the 10th, so tomorrow we'll get the official announcement in-game. And overall, lads, that was the version 15.4 update. Overall, some solid stuff, right? We've had a lot of great updates this year, and this is another example of that. New bonus abilities with the stat increases are definitely worth looking into, and depending on the situation, might be something you want to do for your main character, not just Link's. These new bonus abilities should hopefully make very hard guild quests, even the hard difficulty of guild quests, a bit more accessible and a lot easier to manage around the defense stat increase. There's a new bonus ability Fright, which hopefully makes switching bonus abilities easier, but in that case, that ultimately comes down to Caleb and how regularly available this item is going to be. Hopefully, it becomes a tad bit more common going forward into 2024. There's a new co-op quest, something extra to do every single day, and test plays back. So overall, very solid update. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.